Here we are. We have a tiny little group here today.
Good morning and welcome to our seminar this morning. For those of you who are out there, we don't seem to have too many people here on site today. Can't imagine why. But happy Valentine's Day. And so once again, we enter into the awareness of awareness. We focus in. We focus in the body right now. And most of the time we're aware of this or that. But when we enter the awareness of awareness, we begin to enter that space that's in us and around us. That sense of space and spaciousness. We relax. We open. So we extend from the base of the spine up through the spine, through the back of the heart, the back of the head, all the way up to the top of the head. And we extend down from the top of the head, through the face, through the throat, down into the heart, down into the belly, into the lower body. And we settle in. We settle into this space in our body. And then we extend into the space around us. So above the body, below the body, in all the directions. So we extend to the person on the right, person on the left, across the room, feeling that connection in this space and spaciousness. And then we settle into the space, just feeling it and feeling the quality of the space, the energy of the space. Welcome. Well, the neighborhood people are showing up here. So we sense the energy of the space. We pull it into the top of the head and down through the forehead, through the face, through the throat, down into the heart, down into the belly, into the lower body. And then we extend that same energy from the back of the head. We focus there, into the forehead, the back of the head, into the eyes. That same energy, we extend it forward. And we hear sounds. We can pull those into the field with us. Just pulling them in rather than going out to them. Welcome. And we extend the energy from the back of the head into the mouth. From the back of the head into the throat. From the back of the head, right now, into the heart. From the back of the head into the belly. And the back of the head into the lower body. So we fill the whole body with the energy that's in us and around us. We simply amplify it. We open to it. So we open all the pores of the body right now into the field and focusing in the heart. We relax even more. And rest in the heart as we open into the light. And once again, we extend to each other, feeling that resonance, that connection, as we do this practice this morning. We extend also to the generational field, that field of the ancestors, the family, the friends, and the great yogis we've met in our life, or perhaps would like to meet. And we extend to all those that we've mentored, our children, our grandchildren, our students, our clients, feeling that resonance. And we extend to all our traditions of which we participate. And to the great archetypes of all the traditions. Again, feeling that resonance this morning. And particularly with the Divine Mother, to the Divine Mother in her many forms. So as we enter in to this space of the awareness, as we focus in, I'm going to give a talk this morning on devotion. And it is devotion that supports love. There are so many experiences, people that we're devoted to. We're devoted to our families, our friends, our teachers, our jobs, our food, our hobbies, our groups, our histories, our dreams, and our archetypes. So devotion is everywhere and in everything. And as we experience devotion, the field of being, the field of awareness opens. And we begin to experience something much bigger, much more vast. So the experience of devotion is not simply a mental state. It happens in true meeting. It can happen with a person, an animal, a pet, a tree, a work of art, a project. And in these meetings, the divine may appear. It is the experience of subject meeting subject in the present moment. Meeting inside to inside. The poet Rumi describes the mouse and a frog. A mouse and a frog meet every morning on the riverbank. They sit in a nook on the ground and talk. And each morning, the second they see each other, they open easily, telling stories and dreams and secrets, empty of any fear or suspicious holding back. To watch and listen to these two is to understand how, as it is written, that sometimes when two beings come together, Christ becomes visible. The mouse starts laughing out a story he hasn't thought of in 5 years. And the telling might even take 5 years. There's no blocking the speech flow, river running, all carrying momentum that true intimacy is. Bitterness doesn't have a chance with these two. So devotion is everywhere and in everything. And as we experience devotion, the field of being opens. And we begin to experience something much bigger, much more vast. Viktor Frankl writes of his time in concentration camp and describes experiencing his wife's presence as he stumbled in freezing weather to his work detail. My mind clung to my wife's image, imagining it with uncanny acuteness. I heard her answer me, saw her smile, and her frank, encouraging look. A thought transfixed me, that love is the ultimate and highest goal to which man can aspire. The salvation of man is through love and in love. And I understood how a man who has nothing left in this world may still know bliss, be it for a brief moment, in the contemplation of his beloved. The experience of devotion is not simply a mental state. It happens in true meeting. It can happen with a person, a group, a work of art, a pet, in nature. Rabia, the great Sufi saint and poet, discovered devotion to her beloved in solitary night vigils. My God and my Lord, my eyes are at rest. The stars are setting. Hushed are the movements of the birds in their nests, of monsters in the deep. And you are the just who knows no change, the equity that does not swerve, the everlasting that never passes away. The doors of the kings are locked and guarded by their henchmen, but your door is open to those who call on you. My Lord, every lover is alone with their beloved, and I am alone with you. So devotion is everywhere and in it everything. And as we experience devotion, the field of being opens, and we begin to experience something much bigger, much more vast. Devotion is also the effort we make toward ourselves and the other. And there's a great poem by Hafiz. It happens all the time in heaven. And someday it will begin to happen again on earth. The men and women who are married, and the men and men who are lovers, and the women and women who give each other light, often will get down on their knees, and while so tenderly holding their lover's hand, with tears in their eyes, will sincerely speak, saying, "My dear, how can I be more loving to you? How can I be more kind?" Devotion is everywhere and in everything. And as we experience devotion, the field of being opens, and we begin to experience something much bigger, much more vast. And devotion is also the effort we make toward ourselves and the other. Hafiz, the great Sufi poet, had a spiritual teacher by the name of Muhammad Attar. Hafiz visited Attar nearly every day for years. Attar encouraged him to become a poet. And one day, when Hafiz was well over 60, he confronted his aged teacher and said, "Look at me. I'm old. My wife and my son are long dead. What have I gained from being your disciple all these years?" And Attar answered, "Be patient, and one day you'll know." And Hafiz shouted, "I knew I'd get that answer from you." So in desperation, he began a 40-day vigil. He drew a circle on the ground and sat there for 40 days and 40 nights, fasting and meditating. And on the 40th day, an angel appeared to him and asked him what he desired. And Hafiz discovered that after 40 days, all his desires had disappeared, and his only wish was to serve his teacher. So just before dawn, he went to the teacher's house, and they embraced. And he offered Hafiz a special cup of wine, aged wine. And as Hafiz drank the wine, all separateness dissolved, and he merged into complete unity with the divine. So devotion is everywhere and in everything. And as we experience devotion, the field of being opens, and we begin to experience something much bigger, much more vast. Another great mystic, St. Francis of Assisi, declared over and over again, God loves us no matter who we are or what we've done. Everyone was included by Francis. His devotion was to all creatures. And when Francis was trying to understand his destiny, he asked several of his disciples to ask God what he should do. Should he become a hermit or serve all humanity? They all came back with the same answer: serve all creatures. So Francis, in a state of ecstasy, began preaching, going from village to village. Within 2 years, 5,000 people had become friars, and the Third Order of St. Francis was formed for those who couldn't be monks. Everyone was included, even the animals. Francis's humanity and kindness in his message, God loves us no matter who we are or what we've done, have led many, many people toward renewed devotion and love. Once, a woman asked Swami Muktananda, our root teacher here, she said, "Baba, I can't meditate. What should I do? I don't even believe in God." And Muktananda answered her and says, "Who do you love?" And she said, "Well, I love my son." And Muktananda said, "Then meditate on your son. Meditate on the love you have for your son. Where love is, God is." So once again, we'll focus in the field. We'll extend that space through the body, extend it up, extend it down again. And we'll focus on that love in our heart for whatever we love, for whoever we love, for whoever or whatever we're devoted to. And as the image of that person disappears in the heart, we'll just focus on the love itself, that feeling of love. for some time, we'll do that practice where we focus on family and friends who might be having some difficulty right now. We'll focus on our country and all the countries at the Olympic Games right now for the safety of all people. So we simply hold the light and experience them in the light. Again, feeling that resonance. Inside to inside. We have one more chant this morning, a Sufi song of love. Such an amazing chant, really. So welcome back, and we'll start to close up right now. If you like, you can rub your hands together till they're hot. Then sealing at the heart, the top of the head, lower body. If you like to yawn a little, move around a little. So thank you all for joining us this morning, and we have some refreshments upstairs. And if you like, you can come back next week.
Good morning. Next Sunday, I think it's next Sunday, we're having a workshop from about 10 in the morning to maybe a little after 12. And the focus of the workshop is going to be on astrology and how to understand these archetypical and cosmological energies and go beyond the simplistic notion of prediction, and how the understanding of these energies and the experience of the energies actually is a method of self-liberation. And it'll be Peter Barr will be leading it. I'll be with him also, and it should really be super great.
No nepotism here, no. So, again, thank you all for coming. If you'd like to stay and meditate for a while, we'll put that chant back on. Okay.